Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about Hot Springs and you were born in 1914?
1914.
1914. And so, anything you'd like to tell us that sticks out in your mind that you would like to share with?
Well, it's the same old mountain over there. I love it. I've lived my biggest part of my life in the shadow of that old mountain. We sure have a good picture of it.
How long have you been in your house here?
over 40 years, it'll be 41 years.
Okay, so then that would...
51. 51 years.
So you moved in here in about 1950-something then, right?
1960, the first... 1959 and Christmas of 59.
So when did they push the river over? Because wasn't at one time the river real close to these
they
rocks?
did that years ago. That was been...
About 1907?
No, it was after we came here, and they moved it over there, so when we came here... No, wasn't either, because the river used to go right by those rocks when we first came here. I don't know what did it.
I want you to tell the story about the bank robbery that the two high school boys pulled off. I want you to tell that story.
Well, let me see. I was on the switchboard that morning when I got the call. It was a sad, sad thing. In my estimation, it was put up by a teacher in the school. And they were heading back over the mountain. And I think that both were fine boys. I think that Rex Williams had as many friends as anybody could ever. But maybe he was a poor boy that didn't want to be poor. You know, that's the way a lot of boys are, I guess. Now, Otto, I didn't know Otto too well, but I think Otto was a good boy. But I think they were put up by that teacher. Now, I bet you've never heard that side of the story, so that's my feeling. I don't even remember what the teacher's name. I remember him very well, but I don't remember what his name was.
What year was that, Annette, that they had that robbery at the...
It must have been about 33, wasn't it? Because I graduated in 34, and I was still on the switchboard. Mm-hmm. I was on the switchboard.
So what bank did they rob?
Pardon?
What bank did they rob?
Just the one. We only had one bank, the Hot Springs, and that was over there on Main Street. You know, what's in there now?
Bank of the Southwest.
Oh.
Yeah, the Bank of the Southwest.
It was the First National, wasn't it, at that time?
Yeah.
And how much did they take?
What?
How much did they take?
I don't know. Now, Cecil, I think, was the first one that walked up to him. And when Rex found out that it was Cecil, they didn't try anything. I don't know where Otto was at that time. I don't know where he was. So there was...
Where'd they go hide? When they left the bank, where did they go hide?
They had in a privy just back of what would be the theater building. The theater building wasn't there then. And there was a theater, there was a privy that belonged to one of those houses there. As they were heading back to the school, I think. But I don't know where they found Otto. But I guess Rex had the money. But that just ruined Rex's life. He never was in the count after that. But that's the way, I mean, you have, you know, you just have those feelings that it was a bad break for both of them to ever get into anything like that.
Did they send them away or did they stay here? Do you ever know what happened to them?
I don't think they ever spent any time in jail. I don't remember them doing that. He might have had to spend a year. Now, Otto married the Malone girl later in life. And I think he just died just recently. Some way I keep remember that. But Rex, I think Rex got into some more trouble when he went over to Roswell. But I think he just, well, I'm a bad boy, so I might as well be a bad boy. So,
One more thing I'd like to ask you. Do you remember when they dropped the atomic bomb?
what?
When they dropped the atomic bomb? Did you see it, or how did you hear about it?
Well, Bob was at Fort Benning that summer, and I stayed here, and Mrs. Dr. Johnson and I were going to El Paso that morning. So I got up, I don't know, we thought we had to go early, and so I got up early. I was staying up at Cecil's house, and the door just rattled like that. And I thought it was his dog, and I went over to open the door, and the dog wasn't there. And I thought, well, that's funny, and that's the last. And that was the atomic bomb that rattled the door.
Oh.
When we were, I guess not until we got home did we know that that's what it was. You know, although we didn't know going down there. Or I think maybe she had said that we heard something, but I didn't see anything. Now my brother-in-law lived down in Williamsburg, and he said he saw a flash from it. Now, he wasn't known to tell stories, so I guess if you were right in the right direction, it would rattle some things and not others, you know.
Yeah.
You know, when they had this explosion over here, it broke out a window here and on the back window. It didn't bother another thing in the whole district. Not until they got to the Baptist church, and then it broke out some more windows. So I guess the earth is made up of solid ground in places.
Mm-hmm. And it vibrates, yeah. Yeah. And what Annette is talking about there is when there was the propane explosion back, was it about what, 2001, that there was quite a ball of fire on 3rd Street, and it really scorched some houses and some trailers around that site, and then it also created damage throughout the community.
That's the only thing she